Let's get back to this story now. The Embattled National Student Financial Aid Scheme has allegedly failed to make good on its promise to pay outstanding allowances by the middle of this month. The organization Undoing Tax Abuse also claims that Higher Education Minister Dr. Blade Nzimande and NSFAS Chair Board NSFAS allegedly received kickbacks from the scheme's service provider in exchange for the contract. EFF Member of Parliament and Higher Education Portfolio Committee Member Mandla Shikwambana joins us now for more on that. Good to have you, sir. Thank you very much for your time. The promise was for the 15th of January that all 2023 outstanding allowances would have been disbursed. That did not happen. The only thing that we know now is that NSFAS will have a briefing about that tomorrow, the 18th of January. What could have possibly led to this failure to meet that deadline?
Thank you very much, Tawa. And also let me take this opportunity and greet your viewers. I mean, there's nothing surprising with NSFAS. We do not have NSFAS anymore. As the EFF, we've made it clear a long time ago that the board of NSFAS must be dissolved, all of it. Because all those people there, they seemingly and continuously prove to our people that they've got nothing to offer to the students of South Africa. They've got nothing to offer to the people of South Africa. What they do best is to steal the monies of the students. But when they have to pay the students, they can't pay. Because all the monies that needs to be paid, they've actually been stolen and they got missing somewhere in their pocket. So we're not surprised why they've made a promise to say by the 15th they will have paid the outstanding balances to the students. And now we're sitting here with lots of students who are actually not paid. I mean, more than 20,000 students are not paid as we speak today. I just spoke to students from the University of the Free State, more than 102 students who are affected by that issue. They are owing the landlords. They are actually even owing the universities. They're actually in a debt as we speak now. And the university also may not even allow them to register now as returning students because they owe the institution. So it's a mess, and they're actually creating a lot of problems and trouble to our students, and a trauma for that matter to our students, innocent students, by the way.
So likely you're saying this is going to be affecting returning students. What is the intervention here? What are you, as part of your campaign, Sofunda Ngenkani, going to do in particularly addressing this issue?
The EFF Students Command in the universities is always there every year, and they are doing their work best. More than any other political party. You know that we are for free registration, and you know that we are for free quality and well-resourced decolonized education. The Students' Command will continue with their campaign of Sofunda Ngenkani, where they will be assisting these students. So we call upon all these returning students with financial issues caused by NSFAS to come to institutions of higher learning. They must look for EFF red t-shirt. They must find for EFF Students Command leadership in their campuses. They will assist them, and they are going to make sure that they get registered in the institutions. But alone, we as the EFF as well, we are also making ways to make sure that Blade and the chairperson of the board and the entire board of NSFAS are held accountable.
Is this not maybe also an indication, I suppose, of the inability for NSFAS to be able to disburse these funds? Because this 20,000 that is outstanding, of course, remain outstanding following them cutting ties with those fintech companies that were disbursing allowances.
It's a proof to say NSFAS cannot actually do its business. It have actually moved away from what they are actually made to do. Because NSFAS, we know that their duty is to disburse funds. The only mistake NSFAS did, and which we must speak about it, is to have a middle person to be the one disbursing the funds to the students. Why don't you do it direct yourself as NSFAS? Why do you have to go and appoint companies for them to be the ones be responsible for disbursing funds? Because these companies, first, they were appointed unlawfully, and they are not actually suitable to be actually running financial services and disbursing funds. That's why we've got all these crises and problems now. These friends of Blade and the chairperson of NSFAS, who were appointed by them wrongfully so, are the ones who are causing all this mess that the NSFAS is sitting with today. And henceforth, we are calling for the removal of Blade, and we are also calling for the removal of the chairperson of NSFAS, because it's clear that these guys are not doing anything. And we thank God because this chairperson has actually removed himself. He knows he's wrong. He knows he's not capable. He knows he's doing nothing. Because we are speaking of 20,000 students. It's a quite lot of students who are affected. Tabu, you will agree with me that we've got 13 billion budget cut this year, which is going to affect more than 280 students. So with these problems that which we are faced with now in this NSFAS, more than 280 students are going to be defunded by NSFAS. Where are those students going now? Where are we putting the future of those students now? When we still have more than 20,000 students whom they are not paid their allowances of the previous year. So where are we heading? The only solution that South Africans may have is to have the free education. Free education is the solution to this problem of NSFAS. NSFAS is no longer doing its work. NSFAS it has never assisted the students of South Africa, and it will never assist the students of South Africa. Moreover, if we have officials who are corrupt in that institution.
So this likely going to also, I suppose, in fact, the challenges and the stresses of year 2023, others saying, are likely also going to affect the academic performance, not only just the financial performance, but the academic performance of students. And some students likely going to not be readmitted because maybe of poor performance.
Tabo, this year is going to be a mess, let me tell you. And you will remember when these things happen. Now students are reopening now. Universities are going to commence with their registrations. They're going to commence with their registrations wherein tuition fees have been increased. Registration fees have been increased. Accommodation fees have been increased. Students have never received their previous allowances. There's going to be a lot of students who are going to be excluded in the system. That psychologically affects the students. The first day the students arrive in the campus is going to be told about the increment of the fees, the increment of the registration fee, the increment of the accommodation. That's where the problems start. When you are told about that, you are no longer a beneficiary of NSFAS because there's budget cut, because there are students who are going to be defunded, because there are people who did not even perform well last year because of these problems of not having their books, accommodation, and also food and all those. Then they failed. And when they failed this year, when they come, NSFAS is going to tell them that we are no longer going to continue funding you because you did not pass a certain percentage. And who's the cause of them not having passed those modules that they were doing, or they, acquired the required percentages for them to continue to be funded by NSFAS. It's NSFAS itself that continues to actually suffer the students, continue to traumatize the students, continue to keep the students in dark, continue to keep the students hungry, students without textbook, students without accommodation, and students without them paying their fees. And now it's a mess. I'm telling you now, we are going back to 2015, where you will see lots of protest in the universities caused by NSFAS, Department of Higher Education, led by Blade and the chairperson of NSFAS. Hence, we are saying as the EFF, for this to be resolved, Blade must leave the office, because Blade, for the entire years that he has been the minister, he has proven to us that he has nothing to offer to the people of South Africa.
That's the Member of Parliament, Mandla Shikwambana. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on News at Prime.